This decision came from 2 wrongful death cases brought by 3 couples who had frozen embryos destroyed in an accident at a fertility clinic. Alabama justices ruled from their 1872 state law that frozen embryos applies to all unborn children regardless of their location. This ruling has already caused 3 clinics in Alabama to pause in vitro fertilization treatment known as IVF due to fear of prosecution. Dr. Travis McCoy, who works in Asheville at the Piedmont Reproductive Endocrinology Group, says that 1 out of 7 couples struggle with fertility issues.
Approximately 100,000 children are born annually in the United States through IVF, so this is a huge percentage. We perform about 1,000 IVF procedures a year.
Dr. McCoy says the issue is that most states do not have laws that carve out protections for what they do day to day.
Many of the embryos that we make don't survive to being able to make a child. That's just normal human development. Humans are not good reproducers.
If something like what happened in Alabama was to take place in the Carolinas, Dr. McCoy says it could have a huge impact for those trying to start a family.
But in many, many cases, it's the only option for them to conceive. The Alabama doesn't affect us directly, but the concern is the downstream impact and the grayscale and the slippery slope that could happen of this leading to other states.
Where Dr. McCoy says the line can blur from this ruling is clinics are unsure of what to do with embryos that patients have discarded.
It's hard to force a patient to have a pregnancy that they weren't ready for or don't want because maybe their situation isn't there anymore with a partner. That's where the confusion of what do you do with these embryos.
Political analyst Chris Cooper says this ruling is only turning the debate on abortion up even higher.
From your perspective, where did you see this going in a political sense?
To a political maelstrom.
Cooper says he was a little surprised at how quick of a response we saw from presidential candidate Nikki Haley.
And this is not a straightforward abortion case by any stretch of the imagination. This is really something different, a different way to think about life.
When asked during an interview, Haley said in part, quote, "Embryos to me are babies. When you talk about an embryo, that's a life."
Well, I think we're certainly going to see the reverberations from this decision work all throughout the country, including right here in North Carolina.
In Asheville, I'm Taylor Thompson, News 13.